You didn't expose them with your words. You exposed them by finally choosing yourself, and that's the part they can't forgive. That's the truth hitting them harder than anything you could have said out loud. The moment you stepped back and protected your energy, it was like pulling the main wire out of a machine that was faking its strength the whole time. And just like any old, busted system pretending to work, it started smoking the second you unplugged. That's how fragile their entire setup was. One move from you, and everything they built fell apart like a cheap tower made from wet paper. Here's the wild part the community is now realizing. It was never you who caused the chaos. It was the people who were draining you. And when you finally stopped letting them, the universe flipped the lights on, and everyone got to see who was actually responsible for the mess. That's why the community is outraged. That's why people are demanding answers. They're not confused about you anymore. They're confused about why hurting you was ever something people allowed, ignored, or pretended didn't matter. The truth is simple. When the universe supports someone, removing that person's strength doesn't go unnoticed. And the moment you pulled your power back, everyone felt the shift. You weren't being dramatic. You weren't overreacting. You were the only one telling the truth. And now that everything is falling apart for the people who crossed you, the facts are screaming louder than your silence ever did. Thank you, chosen one. And don't forget to pay this message back by pressing like and subscribe to help spread this message to more souls, because it's our responsibility to help each other rise. Thank you for being part of this mission. You are part of a force. Now let's get back to why this whole community is shaken. People are waking up because they're noticing the pattern. Every time you healed, every time you cut ties, every time you grew, something or someone on the other side lost power. That's not imagination. That's not coincidence. That's what happens when someone tries to hold you down while the universe is trying to lift you up. It always backfires, every single time. And that's what you're seeing right now. You didn't attack anyone. You simply stopped carrying what wasn't yours. And the people who depended on you staying weak are now collapsing under the weight of their own choices. Someone in that group thought they could control outcomes. They thought they could shape things in their favor while hiding the truth. Maybe they manipulated people. Maybe they pushed a narrative. Maybe they tried to turn others against you. Whatever technique they used, it only worked when you didn't know your own strength. The moment you woke up to who you were, the game flipped. The board flipped. The entire room flipped. Suddenly the group that once felt secure is fighting to keep their reputation together, while the community that once believed them is now questioning everything. People are turning on each other because accountability finally showed up. And when accountability walks into the room, fake confidence disappears fast. The universe doesn't let lies stand forever. That's why alliances are collapsing. That's why followers are stepping back. That's why people who once cheered for the wrong side are now whispering the truth behind closed doors. Your growth exposed the foundation they were standing on, and it wasn't strong enough to survive any real pressure. You became stronger, cleaner, and more focused. You changed habits. You protected your mental space. You stopped letting low-quality people talk to you like you owed them something, and with every improvement, something dark or toxic fell away. People feel that when it happens. Anyone who was trying to hold you down feels the shift immediately. It drains them, it confuses them, it forces them to face the truth. You were never theirs to control. Right now, regret is destroying someone from the inside out. They didn't expect consequences. They didn't expect people to question them. They didn't expect their story to fall apart. But that's what happens when someone tries to steal power from a person who is naturally supported by the universe. Your rise exposes their intentions. Your growth exposes their lies. Your healing exposes the game they were playing in secret. Fake friends are being exposed. Fake mentors are losing their influence. Fake family members who pretended to support you are now being questioned. The entire community is waking up because your energy is different now. You're sharper, stronger, more grounded, and people can feel it. They're noticing how much lighter your presence is without those people around you. They're noticing how much clearer your voice is when you're not being drained. And the moment a community sees that shift, they start asking serious questions. People are connecting the dots. They're realizing someone tried to block something powerful that was growing through you. They tried to limit you, silence you, or shape you into a version that made them comfortable. But the universe wasn't having that. Every time they tried to limit you, something in their world cracked. And now, those cracks have turned into full-blown breaks. The community is outraged because they're seeing the truth play out in real time. They're watching the people who tried to control you lose control of everything. They're watching supporters walk away. They're watching reputation fall apart. They're watching someone finally face consequences that were long overdue. Your voice, your energy, your strength, it's waking people up. People are noticing how different things feel when you're not carrying the weight of everyone else's insecurity. They're seeing how much more alive you are without those old connections. And now they're questioning the whole situation. They're asking why it was ever acceptable to treat you the way they did. They're asking why a community was okay with standing by while you were drained, used, or silenced. They're asking why people ignored the signs, the warnings, the shifts. And the answer is simple. They underestimated you. They didn't expect the universe to back you. They didn't expect you to wake up. They didn't expect you to walk away with your power intact. You weren't meant to break. You were meant to outgrow. And that's exactly what's happening. The community sees it. The people who crossed you feel it. And the universe is making sure every truth comes out at the right time. They wanted you quiet. Instead, your silence told the story louder than your words ever could. Everything collapsing around them, that's the echo of the strength you stepped into. That's the universe correcting what was done to you. That's the answer to why this was never okay. And the outrage you're seeing now, that's justice finally catching its breath. And Chosen One, thanks for being here, seriously. This message isn't just a story. It's a breakdown of the chaos that exploded the moment you reclaimed your power. And trust me, you do not want to miss what comes next, because every part of this situation explains why the whole community is suddenly outraged and demanding answers about what was done to you. Before we go deeper, drop a comment with the number 777 if you're ready to see the truth behind why your rise exposed so many people. And if you can, show some love with a super thanks to the team who puts real work into bringing you these messages. Your support keeps this mission alive, whether it's 1 cent or 1,000. It all pushes the truth forward. Now take a breath, Chosen One, because from this point on, things get even more real. If you're truly in tune with your own growth, you'll feel the pull to stay until the end. This is where everything starts making sense. Let's dive in. Number 1, the manipulation that blew up in their face. They didn't just fail to control you, they exposed how weak they actually were. And the funniest part, you were the test they weren't built for. That one line alone could ruin their whole day because it cuts straight through the fake confidence they used to hide behind. The truth is, they thought they were clever. They thought they were strategic. They thought they had you wrapped around a system built on lies, pressure, and subtle manipulation. But the universe wasn't having it, and you weren't the unsuspecting target they assumed you were. You were the variable they couldn't measure, the glitch they couldn't patch, the unexpected resistance in a plan they thought would go perfectly. They wanted you to bend. Instead, you stood up straighter. They wanted you confused. Instead, you saw everything. This group tried to bait you with fake opportunities, fake promises, and fake connections. They threw little rewards at you, hoping you'd chase them like you were starving. But you didn't. You saw the strings. You felt the off energy. And instead of running into their trap, you stepped back and let the whole setup collapse under its own weight. People always reveal their true intentions when they realize you're not as desperate as they hoped. That's exactly what happened here. The second their bait didn't work, their real personality showed up. The frustration, the resentment, the panic, and now the consequences. The shift already happened the moment you refused to play by their rules. They were expecting your obedience, your silence, your compliance. Instead, they got a full-blown power shift that nobody in their little circle was prepared for. And now, look at them. The community is outraged. People are demanding answers. Everyone is confused about why this was allowed to happen to you in the first place. And the guilt is eating the manipulators alive, because they know deep down this entire mess could have been avoided if they weren't so obsessed with controlling you. They lied about you to other people, flat-out lies, not tiny misunderstandings. They twisted your words, exaggerated your actions, and created a whole narrative to make themselves look powerful and make you look small. That's how manipulators operate. They don't fight you openly. They poison the room before you even walk in. But here's the thing they never considered. Lies only work while you're silent. The moment your energy changes, the moment your behavior shifts, the moment your presence becomes clearer, the truth starts leaking from every corner. And that's exactly what's happening now. People who once believed the lies are finally waking up. They're seeing the cracks. They're noticing behaviors that don't match the story they were told. And slowly, the crowd is turning. They're not just stepping back from the manipulators. They're angry, outraged, embarrassed they ever supported the wrong side. And now, the fake apologies are rolling in, and every single one of them sounds rehearsed, shaky, and painfully late. They're in damage control mode, but it doesn't matter. When a community loses trust in you, you don't get that trust back with pretty words. You lost it through your actions, and that's the bill coming due for them right now. A question the chosen one might have at this moment. Why did they try this on me? Why was I the target? The answer is simple. They wanted access to your influence, your presence, your mind, your power. Even if you don't see yourself as powerful, trust me, they did. They saw what you couldn't see at the time, and instead of respecting it, they tried to tap into it. Someone in that group even tried to get close to you in the most personal way possible, hoping intimacy would give them access to your energy. They thought being physically or emotionally close would let them siphon your strength, attention, ideas, or validation. They didn't want a relationship. They wanted access. But energy theft never works on someone protected by their own growth. The universe doesn't let someone drain you when you're learning how to protect your space. And when you finally stepped back, the transfer stopped. The fake connection snapped. And suddenly, all their strategies stopped working. That's when the drama started. Because without your energy stabilizing them, their world started collapsing. People used to call them a victim or a poor thing, but now everyone sees the truth, the manipulation, the playing both sides, the emotional traps. the lies said behind your back. Everything is visible now because your absence exposed the whole structure. When a chosen one walks away, the truth stays behind like footprints in wet cement. Everyone sees where the patterns led. Everyone sees how unnatural the behavior was. And now people are connecting dots they ignored before. Let's break this down even deeper, because someone listening right now may be thinking, why is the community outraged now but silent before? The reason is timing. People weren't ready to see the truth earlier. They were under the group's influence, swayed by their stories, scared to question the status quo. But your growth forced clarity. You rising forced them to admit they misjudged you. Your silence forced them to confront what they ignored. When the universe pulls its support from someone, everything around them begins to fall apart. And everyone watching feels it. People in the circle who once protected the manipulators are now questioning them. Alliances once held together by gossip and shared insecurity are snapping clean in half. People aren't just distancing themselves, they're turning against the very group they used to support. They feel betrayed, used, manipulated, and when an entire community realizes they were tricked, their anger doesn't stay quiet. It spreads fast. Right now, someone in that group is dealing with more regret than they've ever felt in their life. They're realizing they played a dangerous game with someone who wasn't playing back. They're realizing the universe doesn't let chosen ones be used as pawns. They're realizing the shift in your energy wasn't random. It was the moment the universe said, enough. They never expected the consequences to hit this hard. They never expected people to turn against them. They never expected to lose the support they bragged about. But here we are. And chosen one, another question you might be thinking is, why does their world collapse every time I heal? Simple. Because they built their world on your weakness. They needed you confused, distracted, or drained for their plan to work. When you improved, their strategy died. You weren't a puppet anymore. And when the puppet cuts the strings, the puppeteer loses the show. The truth is out in the open now. The lies, the toxicity, the manipulation, the fake alliances, the nice people who turned out to be the biggest instigators, the ones who watched quietly because they were scared to stand up. Everything is visible now, and the community wants answers. They want to know why this was okay, why nobody stepped in sooner, why it took your silence, your strength, and your withdrawal for the truth to finally show. The universe is balancing the scales, and everyone feels it. The manipulators feel exposed, the supporters feel embarrassed, and you finally feel the shift that was long overdue. They failed to manipulate you. They failed to break you. They failed to harvest your power. And now they're failing to survive the truth. This wasn't a small mistake. This was a full-blown power shift, and every person who played a part in it is being forced to deal with the fallout. You didn't just walk away, you pulled the plug. And now everyone sees who depended on your energy to stay standing. Their game is over. Yours is just beginning. Number 2, when their surveillance turned on them. They tried to watch you and ended up watching their own downfall instead. That's the price of spying on someone the universe refuses to let you break. That's the gut punch they deserve, because they swore surveillance would give them the upper hand. They thought monitoring you, tracking you, studying you, whispering about you, and pulling strings behind the scenes would somehow keep control. But the universe has a funny way of flipping the script when someone chooses the wrong target. The same eyes they sent to study you ended up turning back toward them, exposing everything they tried to hide. They wanted to observe you quietly. Now the community is observing them loudly. Imagine this like someone planting a camera in someone else's house, only for the camera to spin around and live stream their own living room instead. That's the level of backfire hitting them right now. They thought they were dealing with someone clueless, someone easy to deceive, someone who wouldn't notice subtle energy drains, weird coincidences, or the sudden pressure around your life. But chosen one, you weren't confused. You were patient. And patience hits harder than revenge ever could. Another metaphor. Imagine setting a trap in the forest and stepping into it yourself because you forgot which tree you tied it to. That's them, running around, screaming, trying to figure out why their tools, their energy work, and their strategies suddenly turned against them. They keep blaming you, but deep down, they know it was their own actions that flipped everything upside down. Here's a thought that might be floating in your mind right now. Why did they even bother monitoring me in the first place? Simple. They didn't trust that you would stay where they placed you. They didn't believe you'd remain small. They didn't want to risk you figuring out your own strength. They needed updates, reports, whispers, confirmation. They needed to know if you were rising, healing, or slipping out of their control. But what they didn't realize was that the universe does not let anyone spy on a chosen one without consequences. The moment they tried to interfere with your path, their path started dissolving. And now everything they used to rely on is turning its back on them. Every ally they once bragged about is suddenly silent. Every energy they called for support is refusing to answer. Everything they built is rotting at the foundation because the foundation was never stable. It was built on greed, jealousy, and manipulation, not truth. Spells don't fail because of the target. They fail because of the intention behind them. That quote alone explains the whole collapse. Spell work, energy manipulation, intention setting, whatever they want to call it, was never meant to be used to limit someone else's life. They didn't just affect you, they affected an entire community. People felt off, people felt drained, people acted out of character, people fought over nothing, people fell into patterns that weren't theirs. And now that the community is waking up, the outrage makes perfect sense. Imagine this, a fog sitting over a town for months, making people confused, tired, irritable, disconnected. And the moment you stepped back and healed, the fog started lifting. People blinked, looked around, saw the mess, saw the lies, saw the fake harmony. And suddenly everyone is asking the same question. Who caused all of this? And why was it allowed to happen to you? This awakening isn't random, it's a chain reaction. When the universe removes influence from one person, everyone attached to that influence feels the shift. The monitoring spirit they sent, it protects you now. Because the universe always sides with truth once truth rises. Meanwhile, the person behind all this refuses to hear anything that challenges their ego. They reject accountability like it's poison. They shut down any truth that doesn't benefit them. They pretend the consequences aren't connected to their actions. But consequences don't need their approval to exist. Their world is falling apart, whether they want to admit it or not. They were involved in practices that crossed every ethical line. They mixed intimacy with manipulation. They played with energy they didn't understand. They pulled other people into their chaos. They tried to harvest strength from connections they didn't deserve. They used group situations, emotional bait, and physical closeness as tools of control. They targeted you because your energy is strong, pure, and influential. They wanted the glow without doing the work. But harvesting power from someone protected by the universe always backfires. When they touched what wasn't theirs, they activated their own destruction. Someone in this group is now physically sick, not because you harmed them, but because they messed with the wrong energy. Their spirit is clogged, their motivation is blocked, their relationships are crumbling. They accuse you of everything they themselves are guilty of. They talk badly about you while secretly copying you. They hate you while secretly wishing they could be you. Imagine this like someone throwing dirt at you during a storm, only to realize they were standing downwind the whole time. Every handful they threw blew right back into their own face, and now they're confused, crying, panicking, wondering why their life suddenly looks like a disaster zone. The community sees it, the universe sees it, and Chosen One, whether you see it fully or not, your presence triggered the awakening. Another question you may be asking right now: why is everything so extreme? Why are people breaking up, exposing each other, fighting, or even involving the police? Because when manipulation collapses, everything it touched collapses too. This group encouraged someone close to you to cheat, betray, or sabotage, thinking it would weaken you. They played with people's emotions for sport. They used intimacy as a weapon, and now their karma is here with a megaphone. Divorce energy is everywhere. Relationships tied to corruption are breaking. People involved in their schemes are facing heavy consequences. Public fights are happening. Secrets are leaking. Reputations are receiving hits they can't repair. Even legal trouble is popping up, because once universal balance begins, it doesn't stop until everything false has been removed. They wanted your downfall to be public. Instead, their downfall became the headline. Police involvement doesn't surprise the universe. Public chaos doesn't surprise the universe. This is what happens when someone tries to manipulate a chosen one while pretending they are untouchable. Imagine the entire group standing on a floor they thought was solid, until the boards began cracking under their own weight. They look around, searching for someone to blame, but the only fingerprints on the destruction belong to them. Now the community is waking up. People are angry. People want answers. People want truth. They're replaying old conversations. They're seeing red flags they ignored. They're recognizing how they were manipulated into doubting you. And now they feel embarrassed for believing lies instead of trusting their own instincts. The monitoring, the spell work, the manipulation, the group activities, the attempts at energy theft, everything they built came from insecurity and jealousy. And the universe doesn't reward that. It exposes it. You, Chosen One, didn't fight them. You simply healed. And your healing revealed every mask they wore. That's why the community is outraged. That's why people want explanations. That's why nothing in their world works anymore. They played with forces they didn't respect. They targeted someone they didn't understand. And now the universe is correcting the imbalance in real time. This isn't revenge. This is alignment. And it's only the beginning. Number 3. When their own lies dragged them into the light. They didn't just betray you, they exposed themselves in 4K, and the universe made sure everyone saw it. Let's break this open, Chosen One, because this part hits harder than anything so far. Someone from that group crossed a line so filthy it stained their whole reputation. They slept with your partner not out of passion, not out of love, out of strategy. They wanted access to your energy, your influence, your power. But the universe doesn't let parasites eat without consequences, and the moment they made that move, the downfall began. Evidence surfaced, messages, calls, receipts. The kind of evidence that doesn't just damage a life, but dismantles it. Imagine someone digging a hole to trap you, only to slip, fall, and drag their whole squad in with them. That's exactly what happened. Now, their life is unraveling fast. The obsession they tried to hide. Everyone sees it. Their pattern is loud. Their lies are breaking apart like cheap glass under sunlight. People are whispering. People are judging. People who once defended them now look embarrassed for ever believing their stories. Here's the irony. They didn't want to look threatened by you. They tried to act calm, confident, unbothered, but you read them too easily. Your insight rattles them. Your intuition exposes the things they hoped no one would ever notice. And that scares them more than anything. Nothing terrifies a liar more than someone who sees the truth without needing proof. You took every hit, every betrayal, every whisper campaign they threw at you, and you still stood up stronger. You turned poison into medicine, and they absolutely hate that. They wanted you to break. Instead, you transformed. They even tried getting authorities involved, hoping chaos would land on your doorstep. But karma turned the wheel the other way. Instead of police coming for you, police caught them burning evidence. Imagine thinking you're the mastermind and ending up the main suspect in your own plot. Their whole group mastered manipulation like it was a sport. They planted doubts about you everywhere. They whispered suggestive comments. They dropped little lies like breadcrumbs. They twisted stories so you'd look unstable while they played the victim. But here's the thing about lies. They fall apart when the wrong person tells them. Now the truth is catching up. Their mask is slipping. Their storyline is collapsing. And nobody buys the act anymore. This isn't your downfall. This is their exposure. And it's only getting louder. Number 4. When the crowd realized who the real problem was. They didn't ruin your reputation. They ruined their own by saying your name too many times in the wrong rooms. Chosen one, this is the part where everything finally clicks for the community. People are connecting dots they didn't even realize were related. Meetings, gatherings, private conversations. Your name kept coming up again and again, not because you did anything wrong, but because obsession makes people sloppy. When the same story gets repeated too many times, people start wondering why the storyteller is working this hard. And once that question shows up, the whole narrative collapses. Imagine someone trying to frame you by circling your name on a whiteboard over and over, then accidentally circling themselves in the process. That's what happened. Their repetition created fake consensus, not truth. They convinced others to cut you off, calling it healthy boundaries, when in reality it was strategic isolation. They needed you silent. They needed no witnesses. They needed control of the narrative. But now people see the trick. Silencing you protected them, not the community. Neutrality dies the moment truth enters the room. People who once stayed out of it now see they were used as shields in someone else's drama. What looked like caution now looks like manipulation. What looked like conflict prevention now looks like a cover-up. And here's the gut punch. Everything they accused you of was just a mirror they were terrified to look into. Their lies were inverted truths. Their warnings about you were warnings about themselves. Their drama was projection. Their fear was exposure. Now the community is replaying your old words. What they once labeled paranoia, they now see was precision. What they dismissed as overreacting, they now recognize as honesty. The boundaries you set weren't hostility, they were wisdom. People finally see who the real problem was. And it wasn't you. Number 5. When your silence exposed their noise. Your character didn't just survive their chaos, it outlived every lie they told about you. Chosen one, this is the moment when people finally understand the difference between real strength and loud insecurity. For the longest time, the community couldn't see it. Your distance confused them. Your silence made them wonder. Your calmness made them question your motives. But now, with everything exposed, the truth is shining through in a way no smear campaign can outrun. Your distance. That wasn't avoidance. That was discernment. You were protecting your peace while they were destroying theirs. You stepped back because the energy was wrong, not because you were wrong. And the community finally gets it. They're seeing that your silence wasn't weakness. It was power. It was control. It was the confidence of someone who didn't need to scream to be heard. Imagine watching two houses during a storm, one shaking because it's built on cheap material, the other standing steady because it was built correctly. That's you versus them. You were always the stable structure. They were always the collapsing one. People just couldn't see the cracks until the rain started. Another fact that's hitting the community hard. You never played their gossip games while they were swapping stories, twisting narratives, and adding exaggerations just to keep the drama alive. You stayed silent. You didn't clap back. You didn't retaliate. You didn't match their chaos. And that choice is now speaking louder than any words ever could. When someone refuses to fight in the mud, it becomes obvious who lives there. People are learning by watching you. They're realizing that real strength doesn't need applause. It doesn't need a crowd. It doesn't need validation. It looks like consistency. It looks like calm. It looks like choosing peace over performance. Your character stayed intact while their chaos exposed them. You stayed grounded while their stories fell apart. You were the stable one all along. And now, the whole community sees it. Number 6. When your existence became their biggest fear. You didn't threaten them by doing anything. You threatened them by being everything they pretended to be. Chosen one, this is where the truth gets uncomfortable for them and empowering for you. You never needed a crowd to validate your worth. You never needed a committee to vote on your identity. You were built from truth, not social approval. And that alone made you dangerous to people whose entire existence depends on keeping up an image. You were the mirror they didn't want to look into. Every time you walked into a room, your authenticity exposed their lack of integrity. You didn't have to call them out. You didn't have to expose them with words. Your presence alone cracked the mask they spent years polishing. Imagine someone building a castle out of cardboard and panicking the moment real stone walks in. That's you. That's them. Their structure wasn't stable enough for someone like you to exist near it. Another fact they hoped nobody would notice. Your confidence didn't come from noise, gossip, or attention. It came from knowing who you are without being told. That level of self-awareness destroys manipulation instantly. You can't gaslight a person who trusts their own mind. You can't control someone who doesn't need your approval. You can't isolate someone who's comfortable standing alone. They didn't want you gone because you were wrong. They wanted you gone because you were right. They attacked you not because you were a threat to the community, but because you were a threat to their lies. You made it impossible for them to keep pretending. Their power depended on illusion. Yours came from truth. And truth always wins when the universe gets involved. Now the entire community sees it. You never needed them. They needed you silenced. And that exposes everything. Number 7. When their entire plan crumbled under your rise. They didn't lose because you fought back. They lost because you outgrew the battlefield. Chosen one, this is the part where their entire agenda collapses, not because you destroyed it, but because you stopped feeding it. The moment you claimed your power, something fundamental shifted. You changed the wiring of the entire situation without even trying. They were operating on scarcity thinking, fear tactics, and cheap manipulation. You stepped into cooperative intelligence, abundance, and actual awareness. They were playing checkers on a board you quietly turned into chess. Imagine someone trying to trap you in a room while you're busy taking the door off its hinges. That's how every one of their strategies failed. Their walls aren't closing in. Those walls are collapsing because the lies holding them together finally snapped under their own weight. Their agenda depended on you staying small, staying quiet, staying confused. Instead, every attack they threw became fuel. Every smear made you wiser. Every betrayal pushed you further into your own power. You didn't need revenge. Your growth was the punishment. Their downfall wasn't triggered by your strength. It was triggered by their refusal to evolve. Now the community sees the price of their manipulation. Relationships were destroyed because of them. Opportunities slipped away because of their envy-driven games. Trust was shattered because they weaponized people against each other. Growth was stalled because chaos became their culture. The damage is staggering, and people are finally admitting they gave grace to the wrong people. And here's the part they never predicted. While they were busy convincing everyone you were the problem, you were standing alone, holding your integrity like a shield. Now the truth is undeniable. They weren't victims. They weren't leaders. They weren't protectors. They were the architects of their own collapse, and the community is watching them fall. Number 8. When their mask shattered and the crowd turned on them. They didn't lose the community. The community realized they never deserved it. Chosen one, this is the moment everything they built on sympathy, manipulation, and fake purity finally collapsed. Their entire image depended on community kindness. They played the innocent. They played the fragile one. They played the poor me character so well that people rushed to protect them. But the second the truth surfaced, the community snapped like a rubber band stretched too far. Anger rose because people realized they weren't helping a victim. They were enabling a manipulator. Imagine someone using a donation box as a personal piggy bank, then acting shocked when people demand accountability. That's the energy here. When the lies cracked open, at the perfect timing, of course, the outrage came fast. People felt used. People felt tricked. People felt stupid for believing the performance. The compassion everyone gave so freely now feels weaponized, and that's why the community is furious. Law enforcement stepping in doesn't surprise anyone now. The behavior crossed lines long before the truth was exposed. Someone once sheltered and protected is now being removed from the very spaces they abused. Their hardships, which they constantly showcased for pity, no longer work as a shield. The spell is broken. The manipulation is visible. And the universe isn't allowing them to hide behind emotional theatrics anymore. They weren't struggling. They were stealing energy to survive. Someone maternal who opened their home out of pure kindness was taken advantage of and drained. Strange practices were happening behind closed doors. Money disappeared. Energy disappeared. Stability disappeared. But the cords are cut now. Whatever was taken from you must return, and the shift has already begun. Someone dealing with financial pressure or insecurity is about to experience a reversal, because the universe doesn't let stolen energy stay where it doesn't belong. At the center of all this stands a distorted feminine energy drowning in the chaos she created. Feeling trapped, frustrated, and exposed is her new reality, not yours. Your truth freed you. Their lies trapped them. Number 9. When the money trail exposed their entire scheme. They weren't struggling. They were funding their envy with the community's compassion. Chosen one, this is where things get ugly in a very revealing way. The financial manipulation is no longer a rumor, it's a documented pattern. This group collected money under fake emergencies again and again, milking the community's kindness every time they felt you rising. The story changed, the excuses changed, the emotions changed, but the outcome was always the same. Nothing improved. Why? Because the emergencies weren't real. They were distractions, cover-ups, tools to keep their lifestyle, their image and their ego afloat while sabotaging your progress. Imagine watching someone scream, "Fire," every time the spotlight shifts away from them. That's exactly what they did. And now that someone finally lined up the receipts, dates, amounts, reasons, the truth hit harder than anyone expected. Every time you were about to level up, they created a crisis to pull attention, resources, and energy away from you. It wasn't coincidence. It was strategy. The numbers don't lie, but manipulators do. Community resources weren't just misused, they were weaponized. Money meant for genuine support was funneled into maintaining an illusion they could never sustain on their own. They used funds to keep up with you, compete with you, and imitate your progress. They wanted your glow without the work. They wanted your rise without your discipline. They wanted your results without your integrity. And while the community was busy rescuing them from disaster, they were sabotaging you behind the scenes. Opportunities were hidden from you. Connections were blocked. People with influence interfered deliberately because they were fed lies about you. Every setback you experienced wasn't bad luck. It was engineered. Imagine climbing a ladder while someone kicks out every step behind you, hoping you fall. But here's the twist. You climbed anyway. Now the financial trail has exposed everything. Their illusion is finished. Your truth is undeniable. Number 10. When your return to yourself triggered their entire downfall. You didn't beat them by fighting. You beat them by finally remembering who you are. Chosen one, this is the part everyone keeps replaying in their minds, because the domino effect wasn't subtle, it was explosive. You didn't need revenge, you didn't need a crowd, and you sure didn't need their approval. All you did was reclaim your energy, and that single act wiped out an entire operation built on lies, ego, and manipulation. They spent months, even years, trying to weaken you, drain you, isolate you, and confuse you. And the second you pulled your power back, everything they built collapsed like a tower made of wet cardboard. Imagine someone stacking dominoes for months, bragging about the masterpiece they're building, only for you to remove the one piece they secretly depended on. The entire chain fell. That's what your healing did. You didn't push anything. You didn't sabotage anything. You simply stepped into your truth, and their false structure couldn't survive the impact. Your glow didn't expose them. Their darkness did. Your healing just removed the shadows they hid in. Now the community is furious, not at you, but at what was allowed to happen to you. People are realizing they were used, emotionally engineered, manipulated into becoming soldiers for someone else's vendetta. They thought they were protecting someone vulnerable. Instead, they were protecting the one causing the wounds. The outrage is loud because they feel betrayed by their own empathy. Questions are hitting them like shockwaves. How did we not see this? How was this ever okay? How did this happen right in front of us? And the truth stings. They didn't see it because they weren't supposed to. Manipulators are experts at disguising harm as helplessness. But your rise made the illusion impossible to maintain. When you healed, their lies became visible. When you grew, their tactics failed. When you chose yourself, they lost the control they thought they owned. Imagine a house of cards shaking under steady wind. You were that wind. Your cleansing, your boundary setting, your silence, your peace, all of it applied pressure they couldn't handle. Each piece of their scheme leaned on another lie, and when the first one cracked, the collapse was immediate. You didn't just survive, you triggered a system reboot the moment you walked away. The community now sees the truth clearly. It wasn't okay. It was never okay. And the fact that it happened at all is the very reason people are demanding answers. But here's the part that makes your journey legendary. You never needed validation to know your worth. You healed even when nobody apologized. You cleansed even when nobody believed you. You chose yourself even when people doubted you. And that's why the universe responded the way it did. Every time you released negativity, another lie crumbled. Every time you protected your boundaries, another mask fell. Every time you stepped forward, someone pretending to be innocent stepped back in fear. Your reclaimed power wasn't just personal, it was structural. It dismantled the entire engine they used to run their agenda. They never expected you to rise. They never expected the community to wake up. They never expected consequences to come knocking. But here you are, standing tall. While they're buried under the rubble of the empire they built on lies. This wasn't an accident. This wasn't coincidence. This was the cost of messing with someone the universe refuses to let break. You reclaimed yourself, and their entire operation fell with the echo of that decision. Number 11. When the whole room finally woke up and you stood on top. Your truth didn't set you free. It set everyone else free from the lie they were living in. Chosen one, this is the moment everything snaps into focus. The fog is gone. The spell is broken. People can finally see what was in front of them the entire time. You were never the problem. Your honesty, your boundaries, your clarity, those were the triggers that unraveled their entire system. You didn't attack. You didn't retaliate. You simply stood fully in your own power, and the illusion around them couldn't survive the pressure. Imagine flipping on a light switch in a dark room and watching every hidden shadow scatter in panic. That's what your presence does when you stop shrinking. Your truth woke the community up. Your calmness exposed their chaos. Your purity cut through the manipulation like a blade. And your boundaries. They were the final domino that sent the whole operation crashing down. Your silence wasn't weakness. It was the countdown to their collapse. Now look at the results. Doors that were blocked suddenly open. Money that was delayed flows back. Opportunities that were hidden reappear. Your name, once dragged through their mud, now stands clean, strong, and respected. Your reputation wasn't just restored, it was rebuilt on truth. People are apologizing without using the word. They're shifting toward you, aligning with you, choosing you, because the universe is making your victory impossible to ignore. And the ones who came against you? They're facing the consequences they spent years trying to avoid. Here's the part that hits hardest. You didn't just survive. You dismantled an entire system built to drain you. And in liberating yourself, you freed others who didn't have your strength. Your complete victory isn't coming. It's already here. And now the entire community sees exactly who you are.